still my town. My town.
Hello, welcome back to Connecting Clarkston. This is season 4, episode 9. Katie and I are very happy to be sitting down with Janalee Grainer. And you've probably seen her strolling about the streets of Oakhurst.
Everywhere.
That was because she is the publisher of the Stroll-Oakhurst Magazine. Welcome. Thank you for visiting us. We're really excited to hear all about it. And a super special feature of this magazine this month, which is the November issue, is Katie has a featured article.
Yep.
And I would
She's
like
in
to say,
everyone.
Katie's everywhere. If you didn't know that already, she is. You've
Not
seen her
quite as many places as Janalee, but
possibly not. But
Wow.
Katie has a really nice section in here, and I had it bookmarked and I lost it. We'll get to it. But
It's every month.
every month she's going to have a feature. And tell us real quick about your little feature.
So basically, we have Connecting Clarkston, and then on the side I have this photo booth. And it has been rented out in Oakhurst a few times, and so I decided to reach out to Janalee because I was like, oh, maybe we can do some sort of collaboration just to share about the photo booth. And then also, we'd been wanting to build out this spot in the app for local publications. So as we were talking, Janalee is like, I think that you should start writing in Stroll, and then we can kind of build out more of the event section that was already in there. Mm-hmm. So since Connecting Clarkston, the app, one of the big features of that is sharing about local events. That was a really nice collaboration.
Yeah, plus you make it a little more personal. Instead of it just being a list of events, it's more like, this is why you should consider putting this on your calendar.
Yeah.
It's also been nice, too, to circle back to some of the podcasts that we've done in the past and just pull some information from things and people we've already talked to.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's all about connecting all these different dots in different ways and all the different ways. So you obviously are doing a lot of connecting yourself with this magazine. How did you end up
Janalee
here?
can also be translated into connector, generally,
Generally. We
and
heard that.
Janalee. And that's just my passion. I mean, that's what I've always wanted to do. I didn't start here. I started in law.
Okay.
Excuse me, pardon me, but
Doing what in
this is a
law?
better place for me. I was a paralegal. I went to school. I'm from California, so I went to school at the University of Spoiled Children, USC. Worked 4 jobs while I was there, and one of them was helping write a book with some entrepreneur people. It wasn't really a book I'm gonna tell you to go check out right now. And then I also did a lot of editing and writing, ended up majoring in English. This is back in the day when you didn't have to take a business class in college, which I recommend everyone do that.
Yeah.
So I started in law because it was an easy way to pay the bills and just made myself acclimate like we always do. You know, I became a chameleon. Like I would go and cover for a firm that was losing, someone to pregnancy, maternity leave or something, and I would just come in, sit down, take over, learned how to just kind of pick up where everybody left off, and I think in doing that, it helped me build my confidence and not be afraid of, someone telling me I did something wrong or saying no or you don't belong here. But it was nice because I didn't know any of the office politics when I would go in.
Yeah.
So I would just sit down, I would get my work done, I'd go to lunch, and then I'd go home.
Yeah.
Usually lots of overtime. They always think that, the more overtime, you're going to make more money, but you lose yourself. And one day I woke up and I said, this is insane. All I ever wanted to do was write good news. And so my husband, Frank, and I were talking one day, and he goes, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, I just want to get up, take the dog for a walk, have my devotion time in the morning, sleep in. I hate winter, of course, I'm from the beach. And, make a living sharing good news. And he just laughed. Everybody laughed. That doesn't exist. Like, there's no such thing as that. You can't make a living just going around and chatting with people. And I thought, well, I've wanted to do it my whole life. Even when I graduated from college, they said, we had an exit interview. What do you plan on doing with your degree? Kind of like interview. And I said, I just want to write good news. No, maybe you could go into broadcasting. Maybe you could, do this, or we suggest you do this. And you just get kind of consumed by how am I going to pay my tuition back.
Yeah.
And Soon after graduating, I met my husband. That's a fun story, and ended up marrying him on the third date, 4 months from the day I met. That's about 36 and a half years ago, so it does work. I don't recommend it. But if there's enough ingredients in the relationship, if you're not both the same, I think you have a better chance of being successful in a friendship, in a marriage, in a partnership, with business, anything like that. I think if you're both alike, too much friction.
Yeah.
But the magazine came up. There was one in my neighborhood, and I got it in the mailbox, and it was about 15 or 16 pages. There was the one particular episode or issue I remember was this lady's, and I apologize if they're listening, but there was a lady holding a leash with a dog, and you just see her arm. And that's the cover. So the covers have improved.
Yeah.
And they ended up calling to interview my son for a mailbox business he had in the neighborhood. And I said, I don't mind if you interview my son, but can I help you with the editing? Can I help make this, reputable publication for the neighborhood, because people aren't going to read it. Fast forward, I did a lot of editing for him, ended up purchasing the franchise, so I'm actually the owner of this, and this is actually a dream come true for me. So I have passion and purpose, and I love what I do, so even though some people say then it isn't work, it's still work.
So what's the focus? What it's connecting people? What's the
So
focus
every
of
30
it?
days, I have a different neighbor or a family that volunteers. I've never knocked on anybody's door, business or neighbor, to be a part of the magazine, so that's kind of cool. I do only references and recommendations, like 99%. And they get to be on the cover. I have Lisa Valella, who many are familiar with. She's amazing, Lisa Valella Photography. So she is my photographer for the magazine. She'll do a little photo shoot, make them feel special. They usually, again, reach out for family photos, things like that.
Yeah.
And we have a story. I have a basic template that I try to tell people use it as a guide, because we've done this for over 10 years. They're all different every single month, even though it's a similar format. It just kind of, it's a stepping stone for the article, and people share what they want to share, and we focus on what we have in common, not necessarily what makes us unique or different that can divide us. We have enough of that in our world, so I just do what I wanted to do back in 1984. I just share good news and have a lot of fun connecting people from one area of the neighborhood to another.
How many homes are in Oakhurst?
We have just under 600 homes. There's there's two sections. We have that little extra bonus, Montclair. A lot of wonderful people live in there, and it's been around since 1990. I think my home was built in 1999. I've lived there since 2006. So let me tell you, it is the bonus for me is that I live there. So not only do I really pay attention to speed bumps and being friendly and making it's a really good character building to live and work in the same place.
Yeah.
Most people get to leave the office. The way that I leave the office is I go to the other side of the state where my kids are, and I'm just Janalee over there. And if I don't, I'm going to run into someone at Kroger, or the gas station, or downtown, or at Honcho's. Yesterday I interviewed a doctor at Alex's Market, and I turned around and almost bumped into someone. It was my next door neighbor with her granddaughter, and he's like, "You know people everywhere?" It's pretty wonderful, because your life, when you know so many different really nice people, it just fills up your world with so much good and so many nice things to talk about. That I sleep really good at night when I do get to sleep.
Well, as we were looking through this, and we talked a little bit before we started the podcast, is the feature in the middle of the magazine for the November issue, International Giving Machine Project. Speaking of putting good out there, I really wanted to be able to talk about this, because it's a really cool concept.
Right. So probably at the end of summer, I had a resident reach out to me, and her name is Elena, and she asked me if I needed any material for the magazine, and during the fall, and she had this great idea. So we met. We went to her home, had coffee. I met her son, and he was pretty remarkable. So Ben was telling me about, he wanted me to. Of course, it was really sweet. He's like, well, let's write about this or that, and gave me some really good ideas, Ben. But the giving machine is something brought on with the Mormon church, and they have this. It looks like doesn't it look like the London Red Bus?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a vending machine with different charities participating, so you can take your kids to Great Lakes Crossing. I believe it starts November, let me double check, November 19th, and you can literally pick something out of the vending machine that you would like to donate to a number of different charities. So the charities, this is just really important. There's such a variety. For 2025, there's the Catholic Charities of Southeast Michigan, Focus Hope, Jewish Family Service of Washtenaw County, Pope Francis Center, R.L. Jones Community Outreach Center in Auburn Hills only, and then Zaman International. But how fun would that be? I wish I could have done that with my kids, is take them to the mall and, besides Chuck E. Cheese and I need this for me, you can actually get a card when you put your money in. It could be like $5 for wool socks, or it could be water, it could be blankets. I think I saw infant car seats.
Oh, neat.
And then you get a card. You could put it on your fridge. You could put it on the kitchen table. You just think about them
gift
during.
it also.
Yeah.
It could be like a
It's a great Christmas
I
gift.
just feel
Yeah.
that it brings us back to
Yeah.
the holidays. There's so much chaos going on, good and bad, and this just kind of grounds us. There's
Yeah.
always going to be a community story or a making a
Okay.
difference story. I try to not just talk about my neighbors or let my neighbors share about their kids and pets. One of the best ones is Positive Pets, because we write from the pet's point of view.
Oh, cute.
But I think it's important for people, especially those who their kids may have grown and they've been the Girl Scout leader, or they've been the coach, they've been involved with something with their children, and suddenly they're realizing that they miss it. And my hope is that they find opportunities and ideas to give back. They're not as busy, they're not in the car as much, driving kids everywhere, and I find that there's a special part of the different chapters in our lives, and if I can help people find joy in whatever it is, or I can connect them with one another in the neighborhood. So many people in Oakhurst play cards together, book clubs together, just like everywhere else. But they don't just live in Oakhurst and stay in a little bubble and keep everything to themselves. My businesses love that not only is the magazine going to everybody in the neighborhood in print every month, but also they have the opportunity to get it digitally every month. But now it's in the Connecting Clarkston app under local resources.
Yep.
So since September 1st?
Yep. So
that's
that's the first one.
That's pretty wonderful.
No,
I
it's
didn't
been a
realize
nice
that
addition.
I had
Yeah.
someone I was interviewing, and they said, so you mean potentially there's over 4,000 new people seeing my ad? And I said, well, I guess so. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah, it
selling
works
point.
well.
Does every every home in Oakhurst get this magazine?
So
every
everybody
month?
gets that. The way that works is we have a national production team, a national legal team, a national design team. I say that because some people have thought when I first started about 8.5 years ago, wow, you do this for free in your basement?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't.
That would be impressive. It's very high quality.
It is, yeah.
So we've come a long way. It started back in 2004 with some friends got together and they wanted to come up with an idea that they could raise their families, keep God in their families first, and yet have something purposeful to connect people, and that's how it all came about. And it was 2004, so pre-market crash time, and when 2008 or 2009 rolled around, our business exploded because people realized relational advertising works. Businesses have to spend money advertising, whether they're McDonald's or the new electrician down the street, and it's just a matter of who do you want to reach to build your business. So I have a motto, building relationships that build business and friendship, because after working with attorneys for a few decades, not that there's anything wrong with that, I love building my Stroll family. I love being able to learn from everyone that I meet with, and not give them the impression that I'm going to put them up against a wall and make them sign up with me, and I'm not going to talk to them unless they become a partner. Instead, I just get together with people and get to know them and find out how can I network for them. And this is my little book of business right here, and it's a gift every month to put this together, every 30 days. So you caught me in the middle.
Yeah.
You caught me in the middle right now. I just pressed the button on December.
Oh, wow.
So I work about 6 weeks in advance.
Jeez.
So I know this keeps you super busy, but I know you're also busy out in the community too. So I know you're involved with the Optimist Club. I know you're also a
Well, I used to
supporter.
be with the Clarkston Foundation for
Okay.
16 years, and with 3 kids in 3 different schools, I had to pick one, either that or the Optimist, so I did that for a while, and then when my son graduated in 19, Callaway, I thought it's time to switch over to the Optimist Club, and I got involved with their Flags for Kids program.
Okay.
I thought that is something that I'm a big time manager. I love to be busy, but it's got to be purposeful.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's a burnout. I noticed there were 22 flags in Oakhurst about 3 years ago, and I thought, that's ridiculous. We need more flags. I offered to be in charge of putting up the flags at 6 times a year, all of our flag holidays, Memorial Day, Flag Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, September 11th, and just most recently, the freezing holiday. I just put up flags in the snow for Veterans Day, which is really one of the most important to me. That's why I focus November on something related to our veterans. But I think now we have like 160 flags, and I did not knock on a single door for that.
Wow.
You know, you kind of can't hide when you're putting up a flag in the community. People are driving by, and we have these Flags for Kids magnets that we put on our cars, and people know that if they stop and say hello to me, I'm going to help them.
Yeah.
And
tell, because we've talked about this program before, but it's a good reminder. What's the investment for people?
so the Flags for Kids program, it's currently $60, which I think is the best bargain around
reasonable.
town.
Yeah.
So that's a $10 donation every time one of us from the Optimist Club comes out. We plant the flag for you a few days before, the day before, depending on the weather, of course.
Sorry to interrupt. I always have to tell the story though of our Flags for Kids. I called back when you were on Holcomb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we're gonna need a flag out there. So they came, will you hammer that big stake into the ground? But I wanted it in a slightly different location.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no problem. I pulled it out. I could not get that stake into the ground securely. However you guys do that is amazing.
Pilates.
Oh my gosh. Like the way it was put in was so solid,
Yeah.
and mine, I was like, this is not great.
Well, there is
So-
a motive to the madness.
Okay.
If you think back, Main Street, Tom Lowry, who is really the genius behind the whole thing, thank you, Tom, he wants them slightly I think they're very tilted along Main Street. That's a little bit too tilted for me because I live in my neighborhood. If I put them in too tilted, who do you think is going to be going out and fixing them? So I'm always like a little bit, in case the wind blows, I can just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that is to put them along the highway so that people see them. When we first started, we were kind of putting them in people's yards, wherever, and not everyone saw them. The impact is to remind us all of our freedoms. Freedom isn't free. And if we can make a difference for the kids in Clarkston, every single dollar that's donated goes to our programs with the Optimist for Kids, for teacher grants and children's programming, and it's just something that I could really get behind.
Yeah.
We know 250 is next year,
Yes.
and so I've already started planting seeds for my neighbors to come together, and I want 250 flags in Oakhurst
Okay, we've heard it
for
here.
2026.
Yes. Where do people get in touch with you about the flags first? How do they get more info?
So you can go to clarkstonoptimist.org. That's the best place.
Okay.
And look for the flag tab. Again, I'm always available. So if somebody wanted to go to Janalee.grainer@strollmag.com, I could help you out and lead you to the application. But there's an application. It's very easy on the website.
Okay. And those links would also get, if someone wanted to advertise in your magazine and support you and partner with you, they could find it there?
Yeah, or they can go to Stroll-Oakhurst.com.
Okay.
I really look for businesses that really value reaching people who can make a decision on, who they would like in their home, who they would like on their, on their property. People in Oakhurst, if they find a good business, they're not keeping it a secret.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt that, we share. And I've even had people say, well, why are you putting your magazine in Oakhurst and not somewhere else? Well, first of all, cost, but more importantly, it's just it's a nice balance between everyone's opinion matters and everybody is equally valuable. But when we can take a neighborhood where there's a social component, we gather at the clubhouse, or it's a circle neighborhood. There's a lot of different ways for people to get together and share and actually socialize. That is really kind of a requirement we have over 800 neighborhoods across the country.
Wow.
And that's usually, there's got to be a place for everybody, whether it's a lake, a clubhouse, a golf course.
Right.
You have to have a central place. And it's got to make sense to the businesses. They've got to have a reason that, there's a reason why they're in the magazine. They don't want to just reach people in Oakhurst. Right. What I love is that they understand it's kind of like a little stroll chamber. I meet people, I take time at the very beginning to really get to know who is the business owner, and my neighbors know that I know every single business owner that is represented in the magazine, and I'm really careful. I interview them as much as they interview me, and if it's a good fit, then we become partners and I have a bigger Stroll family.
Yeah. Do you have any, over the years that you've done this, any favorite covers that you remember?
I love the covers with the families with the little kids, only because those photo shoots are so fun. I remember one last September. There were twins, a little boy and a little girl, and that little boy was all about Ninja Turtles at the time. And
cute.
To get that little guy to sit still, he wanted to cartwheel, he wanted to chase the bad guys. That was fun. And his sister, they're twins, she's just like over it, like just looking, and we just got some really cute shots.
I know Janalee will not bring this up, but the cover that has you on it with your Clarkston cakery cake.
Oh.
I always leave my July cover open. I usually have everything reserved 6 to 9 months ahead, and I always leave July open just in case. My June issue always has graduates in the neighborhood whose families want to, highlight and feature their graduates on the cover, and I always leave July open just in case I miss someone. And then they get their own cover, which is kind of fun. So this year I was encouraged. I brought on Melissa Zile, and was like, okay, what am I going to do for July? I didn't have any graduates that were missing, and Lisa encouraged me, my photographer. She's like, why not have Marissa? She made this cake. And it's a fake cake. I still have it. My son was so disappointed. He was, oh, can we cut that? And we did do something special for that one because it was 10 years in print. And when I started doing this, people are like, this is so dumb. Like, print's dead. This isn't going to work. But that's really not true because I ran into quite a few amazing people that I met at the beginning that aren't doing their businesses anymore. And they'll say, so what are you doing? And I'm really blessed. I get to say I'm still doing the same thing, and I love it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
congrats to 10
yes.
years, and here's
Yeah.
to 10 more. I feel like it's just good to remind everybody this November who Oakhurst members or Oakhurst residents and friends of, and
Yeah,
whoever.
everyone.
Take a look. Katie's article is November Gratitude in Action. It's in
So
here, the first ever.
December's, how she was saying she works really far in advance,
Yes.
has both of us pictured in
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Yes,
yes.
you're both in there.
That's a
And
surprise
the
to me.
December cover
exciting.
actually features Dennis and Denise Carr.
Okay.
And they are childhood sweethearts. They met in the hallway in their elementary school when they were in like 2nd grade.
Well, that's a sweet story.
And, you know,
Okay.
like a few years later, they were put on a blind date with one another, and they dated for a few years and then married. They have a great story. I don't want to give it away, but
Little
that's a
teaser.
real fun one.
We could have a whole episode about how people met, because your story is interesting too. We'll save
Yes.
that for the How'd You Meet Your Partners episode.
Yeah,
'cause yours is really fun too. Well, thank you so much. And I'm also curious about when these vending. Did you say the vending machine is
So-
already?
No,
up?
no. So, pardon the cheat
Yeah,
sheet,
no, you're
but
fine.
the giving machines are launching. They were here last year at Campus Martius at the ice skating rink, and now they're adding one for Great Lakes Crossing. Thank you for reminding me.
Nice.
On December 18th is when they're going to launch Campus Martius.
November or December?
November.
November, okay.
And then Great Lakes Crossing, they're going to have it on Wednesday. And if you want to check out, you might be able to find information. I know they're having their media day coming up soon. I think it's next week.
Okay.
And that might even be on Wednesday, the 19th.
Okay.
So it's just a vending machine with a twist. Instead of buying something for yourself, this allows you to give to a local charity or an international charity, and just participate in what we're really supposed to do for the season.
Wow. Nice. Can't end better than that. That's a fantastic way to wrap up and entering into our holiday season, and just to keep thinking about others. So thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope I didn't just run on and on and on.
No, it was
I like
great.
I like to put the product together. I'm not necessarily as comfortable sitting here. You guys do a great job.
Oh, you did great.
And-
You guys did it's all perfect.
And on behalf
love
of
it.
everybody that I've lived with here in Clarkston since 1994, it's so nice to have the app, because that Connecting Clarkston app, I've told so many people about it already, and even businesses about it.
Oh, yeah.
So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just think that it's nice. When I moved here, there was one place to go to dinner, and now we have all these other options and all these other businesses that are, planting themselves here, which is wonderful.
It was wonderful.
It is wonderful. What a good advertisement for the app.
Thank you.
Thank
Clarkston.
you.
Connecting Clarkston.
That's
Connecting
right.
Clarkston.
Get your app. Download it for free.
Yes.
Connecting Clarkston on the app or Google Play
Well,
Store.
happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Yes.
Same to you. We appreciate you
Merry
taking the time
Christmas.
to be here with
Happy
us.
New Year. Happy Hanukkah.
All the
Get all the
things.
things.
Yeah,
Kwanzaa,
happy.
all of
The
it.
word is happy.
This podcast is brought to you by Independence Television, located inside Clarkston High School. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Independence Television, Independence Township, or Clarkston Community Schools.